Trevor Story set to play shortstop and hit in the middle of the lineup. He does both very, very well. It's time for the big hits, brought to you by Mako. Early in the ball game last night, the Rockies were down a couple of runs. Trevor and his buddies took care of it. Line double to left against Zach Greinke, who he owns, to drive in another run. And that was his 40th double of the year. He has 30-plus home runs. He has 100-plus RBIs. He has 25 stolen bases. Guess what? He is really, really good. He's really talented. He's really hardworking. And for more on his story, we go downstairs to our Taylor McGregor. Hey, Taylor.
Drew, well, the story seems to be that every single night we are talking about a new milestone that Trevor Story reached in his career. Last night with that double, you saw the numbers, the historical impact that had. But I wanted to know from his teammates what they've seen out of him that in their mind has made this season historical for Trevor.
He's able to go out there every day. He's been playing almost every game, competing every day. He can run. I mean, he does everything. He's got 5 tools, you know, and, you know, we don't see a lot of 5-tool players in this game, and he's one of them. And I'm really happy that I'm playing with him. I'm really happy for him that he's having a great year, especially after last year, who was a little bit tougher for him. So to see him come out this year and put up just really a historic year, it's been unbelievable to watch.
How about that? Words from one NL MVP candidate on another NL MVP candidate. You can see the numbers right there. Drew, it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, and I think there's no front runner right now. It basically will come down to how this thing plays out over the next few weeks. And hopefully it is a Rocky, whether it's Trevor or Nolan, because I think that will mean that the Rockies finish atop the National League West. A lot of stories, if you will, still to be told over these next 2.5 weeks. We are set to go. John Gray, Patrick Corbin, Colorado, Arizona. Come on back to Coors Field with us. You want to talk about beautiful? It is flat gorgeous. Flat gorgeous last night also. The Rockies game 3 of this 4-game set against the Diamondbacks. Sun setting to the west, and the Rockies wanted to set on the Diamondbacks as Colorado is 2.5 north of Arizona beginning the game tonight. The Dodgers won finally against Cincinnati. They were 0-6 going into the afternoon contest. They won in a big way, 8-1. So the Rockies a game ahead of LA and 2.5 ahead of Arizona. John Gray. He has a history with Arizona, some of it good, some of it, quite frankly, not so good. Of course, the playoff game, he didn't last long last year against Arizona, and then he started opening day against Arizona this year, and it didn't go as well as he would have liked.
No, he had 4 innings pitch in that start in early April, really at the end of March, where he lasted 4 innings, 6 hits, only had 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. But the fastball and slider combo have to be on point tonight. This Diamondbacks team, they have enough hitters that are dangerous to him. And for me, the most important pitch is going to be strike 1, and it will set up the slider that I feel confident, given the last couple innings in that Dodgers game, that he found his slider grip.
Well, a very un-John Gray-like performance in his last outing, as that's poured over the bottom of the zone for a strike against Pollock, in that he did walk 5. You rarely worry about John Gray and deep pitch counts, but John walked a career most 5 in his last outing against the Dodgers, lasted just 4 innings. He did manage to keep him to 2 runs. This is a ground ball cut off by Nolan. That's going to be a very nice start. Take a look at the Southwest batting order tonight for Torey Luvello's club. Eduardo Escobar has swung it well in this series. He'll bat second. Peralta began the night yesterday with a 2-run home run. Paul Goldschmidt, you need to read about his resume. You know it well. Daniel Descalso, Steven Souza Jr. He started a couple of nights ago, back in there tonight. Nick Ahmed, Alex Avila behind the plate. And here is Escobar, and a curveball early for a strike. And you may notice, because we know how observant all of you are, that the Rockies are utilizing Drew Butera behind the plate tonight initially. So Butera working in concert with John Gray, and quickly he's ahead 0-2. So we talked about the negative. We talked about the playoff game last year. We talked about opening day this year. You know what? Chip on your shoulder guy, and we know how competitive John is and how much he wants to be great. Use that as fuel.
He's going to. I can tell. You can see it already. He's come out with a different persona on the mound, commanding the strike zone, commanding that hollowed mound, the hill that we love.
And this is weak contact. And unfortunately, it's going to land in a spot that nobody can get to. Matt Holliday, you notice, in left field. 2 strikes. Here's the Red Robin defensive alignment tonight for the Rockies. Holliday, Blackman, David Dahl's in right field. He's swinging it so well. He's one of the couple of left-handed bats in the lineup tonight, of course, with Charlie. And then behind the plate, the aforementioned Drew Butera. He's garnered a well-deserved, outstanding reputation for how he handles pitching staffs. 0-2. And that is caught by Ian Desmond. How about those hops? That took a double away from Escobar. And that's the baseball gods, because he's had 4 blue pins in the series. That's the hardest ball he's hit in the series.
Ian Desmond is a great athlete. Let's see how high up he gets. Wow, 95 miles an hour off the bat. It's about 40 inches off the ground. It's plays like that remind you that Ian Desmond was a good shortstop for a period of time. The best athletes on the field. You don't see first baseman typically as athletic as Ian.
Well, not only that, we've pointed this out before. See that little pop-up down the left field line that fell in no man's land? Ian Desmond catches, I'm not saying he's going to catch that one, but he catches balls no other first baseman gets in the neighborhood of.
He's been good over there.
He's done a really good job. 2 strikes on the dangerous Peralta.
I like where the slider is, late movement. You can already tell just by looking at the screen that the dot, the little red dot that you have when you spin the slider properly, is there.
Here's the 1-2, great spot. Oh man, thought he's going to get rung up just off the plate. Phil Cuzzy's the home plate umpire. 2-2. Kind of reminded me of a plate just a pitch last night when Senzatella tried to shave the corner on Goldschmidt. Had that been strike 3, night may have turned out differently. On the ground toward DJ. This is the start John Gray was looking for. 1, 2, 3. He got some help from his first baseman. A leaping catch. He is in a great place. Got 26 home runs, 62 driven in. He's atop the Southwest batting order. DJ LeMahieu has great numbers against Patrick Corbin. He's hit .372 against him. Then it's Arenado, Story, Matt Holliday, Ian Desmond, David Dahl, Drew Butera, and John Gray to face Patrick Corbin. On the homestand, you see Chuck's hitting over 400. Corbin comes in with a record of 11-5, a 3.01 ERA. Billy told you he struck out 223 in just 179 and 2/3 innings. All time against the Rockies, though, 8-3. You like that if you're a Diamondback, but he's got a 4.66 ERA. You like that if you're a Rocky fan.
You do like that if you're a Rocky fan. If you're a Rocky fan, you also need to realize Patrick Corbin is really good. Fastball, not big velocity at 91 miles an hour, and it gets hit about 260 average against it, but the slider 130 batting average. There it is. And you're going to see a lot of those pitches. We mentioned earlier in the open, throws it 40% of the time. That's a lot. Love the backstory. Patrick Corbin trying out for his high school team as a junior, wearing jeans. He's a basketball player.
North Cicero High School, Syracuse, and having played up there and gone to school not far from there, I will tell you, Spilly, you don't know cold until you've been in upstate New York in the middle of the winter. Just ask Tom Murphy about it. 2-2.
Murphy likes the cold.
Oh, yeah, he loves it. Yeah,
the story is a little overblown with the jeans because it was a cold day. It was inside the gymnasium. He's a basketball player, and there was a makeshift mound that he threw off of.
3-2.
But he still gets the point across that he was not a typical baseball play.
You can still find it out on YouTube, him doing a 360 dunk. And when he went to Mohawk Junior College in Utica, New York, initially, he was playing both. And that was a fastball off the plate. Charlie chased it, 1 out. Well, it's time for At the Dish, brought to you by Dish Network. Who do you think's hit more home runs in the Rockies lineup than anybody against Patrick Corbin? You would not have guessed DJ LeMahieu. DJ's not a huge home run hitter. This year he's got a career best 14, but he has taken a beat 4 different times. And opening day, DJ against Corbin.
DJ has great numbers, not just his slugging percentage and home runs. He's 16 for 43 against Corbin, 372 average.
The ball could fly tonight. 91 degrees at first pitch. During batting practice today, the ball was traveling well. And this is on the ground right at Descalso. Second straight day, the Diamondbacks did not take BP out on the field. Baseball teams are always superstitious, individually and collectively. They won last night without taking it, so they're not taking it this evening. Red Robin defense. There's Descalso at second base. He started on Monday night. Behind the plate is Alex Avila. Jeff Mathis did the catching yesterday, as he always does when Zach Greinke's on the mound. They're a very good defensive team. Ahmed's terrific at shortstop. Goldschmidt is terrific at first. Escobar is a fine fielder at third. Pollock very good in center. Off the corner, ball one on Nolan.
Well, there's no question the Diamondbacks have all the necessary parts to get to the playoffs. It's just been the bullpen and an offense that has been very inconsistent.
This ball's well hit to right, and it is going to take one hop off the wall. Nolan, Mr. Doubles now. He's a doubles machine. Two of them last night, and an opening act double this evening.
Looks like a slider. Corbin trying to go backdoor slider, left it up on the Subaru Supermo. Had a chance to catch up with Nolan, and he was talking about how good he's feeling at the plate. Feeling a lot closer to where he wants to be.
There's something special for a hitter in that feeling you're talking about. I'll let you describe it. When you drive a ball the other way, and it makes you feel even better inside as opposed to when you turn and pull a baseball.
There's so many times as a hitter you think you have to speed up to catch your barrel so you can drive a baseball, and that oftentimes means for guys to think pull. But when you realize that when you're in sync with your timing and your foot's down on time and you're not having a lot of head movement, mechanically you're sound, you can actually drive your best baseball opposite field.
Now Story unloaded his 40th double of the season in the first inning yesterday to drive in Nolan. That would work well here. 2 outs in the first, no score. This ball's to third. Escobar will throw out Story. End of threat. We'll go to the second. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Skydivers doing their thing. That was a promotion, and the queen has arrived.
Yeah, long live the queen. Queen almost face planted.
The queen almost lost her tiara. Here we go, second inning. John Gray against Paul Goldschmidt. You may be aware of the history. John in the regular season has dominated Goldschmidt, but Goldschmidt got him in that playoff game, the wild card game last year, when John hung a curveball and he hit a 3-run first inning home run. That's a loud fastball at 95, 0-2.
John has the pitch that Goldschmidt very rarely makes solid contact with. That's the down and away slider. That's the pitch that people try to get on Paul Goldschmidt. We'll see if John can get it there.
He did, and it's going to squeak inside the bag, and it's going to turn into a double. And that's just a bad break. He made a terrific pitch. Broken bat. A little punch roller up the first base line. So a double for Goldschmidt, and that'll bring up Descalso.
Very rarely do pitchers try to tip their cap to the hitter, but that's an elite hitter, and he just made a good swing on a tough pitch right off the end of the bat on the Subaru Superman.
And now Goldschmidt has reached in 48 straight road games. He's got a ways to go before the record. The Ty Cobb reached in 85 straight road games. Tigers back in 1916 and 1917. Descalso takes high, ball one. Well, John looks outstanding so far. First inning, 10 out of 12 strikes, all first pitch strikes to the three hitters. First pitch strike to Goldschmidt. What you'd like to see rear its head again, which John Gray has become known for in his young career, is the strikeout. And the reason I say it that way is of late he has not been getting a bunch of strikeouts.
It's only 6 strikeouts in the last 3 games, Drew.
Yeah, that's not John Gray like. And I bring it up here especially because you have the leadoff double. So if you can get a couple of punch outs.
6 strikeouts, 6 walks in the last 3 games. That's obviously 5 walks his last outing against the Dodgers. That'll get that number up to 6 quick.
Descalso trying to pull the baseball. John stays away from him, and it's 3-1. Good slider. That's his A slider.
It's there.
He threw an A slider to Goldschmidt.
Well, the Subaru Supermo, you see the dot, that's what we were referencing, and that's how you're able to get that movement, the downward movement that can get inside of a left-handed swing or can get away from a right-hander swing.
Butera to the outside corner.
John got away with the pitch. Well, to go back about the strikeouts, his strikeouts per 9 before getting sent down to the minor leagues was 11.6. Since being recalled, 6.7. It's a 5 strikeout drop.
It's enormous.
It's enormous. That's a huge drop.
But other than the last couple of outings, he's pitched very well during that period of time, getting a lot of weak contact, quick outs, worked deep into a lot of games here in the second half. And he loses Descalso. So now there's 2 on, nobody out. And you got a couple right-handed hitters coming up. First up will be the right fielder, Steven Souza Jr. good pitch. Just missed, evidently. Home plate umpires Phil Cuzzy, Chris Conroy at first, C.B. Buckner at second, Field and Colbress at third. Souza just 1 for 21 in the month of September.
I was talking to some of the Diamondbacks friends of the team that were looking at what happened this offseason when the Red Sox ended up signing JD Martinez. There's a little bit of remorse not being able to bring him back.
Well, now it's 3-0. John, who was pounding the strike zone, walked Descalso after getting ahead of him, and now he's fallen behind a slumping Steven Souza. 3-0. Well, JD Martinez, Spilly, is one of those guys. He said, all right, he had a career year last year. There's no way he can replicate those kind of numbers, but he's come damn close. He really has.
He has a chance to win a Triple Crown, but not only in the American League, he would lead all baseball with some of his stats.
3-1, and you have to go to third here. Great job. Safe. Nolan wasn't on the bag. He was retreating, trying to help out Story. It'll go as a fielder's choice. I thought he tripped on the bag.
We'll see. I mean, typically you'll see an infielder point at the bag like he got it, but you didn't see it with Nolan. Is there a different view to see if he had the chance to retouch it?
And he's not touching it. Ooh, did he get it with his toe? He doesn't seem to be
No, he wasn't pointing.
arguing, and you know how Nolan's so animated. No, he didn't get it.
He's not even close.
Nope, he didn't get it. Drew Butera is doing the smart thing. I think he'd do this if it was John Gray, who's a young pitcher, if it was Zach Greinke. Go out and counsel him a little bit. His stuff is outstanding. And he's had a couple bad breaks. But again, you don't have a big margin when you're facing a guy like Patrick Corbin.
Got the plate, leads all hitters against the Rockies this season with RBIs, and Nick Ahmed. It's more RBIs against the Rockies than anybody. 16 RBIs on the season, and I don't think many people would have guessed that it was Nick.
You know, you get in these situations and you say one. If there's a way the Rockies can work out of this thing, only giving up a single run, they'll have done well. 1-0. Fouled off. Ahmed hitting in the 7th spot in the lineup. And then you have the left-handed hitting Avila. Two and one. That's a strike. 2-2. That's big.
It's a huge pitch because it sets up Nick Ahmed thinking fastball in, and that opens up the outside portion of the plate if John throws his good slider down the way. Ahmed has been susceptible to off-speed pitches away from him. We've seen some awkward swings in the last 2 days.
Make a pitch here. 2-2. In the air to center field. This is plenty deep enough to get the run home. Goldschmidt will tag. Also tagging is Descalso. And it's 1-0 Arizona. Now this becomes a big sequence here to Avila because you have the pitcher on deck. Good athlete, but again, a pitcher on deck. Do have an opportunity to hold Arizona to a run, and the Rockies in the infield are going to play for 2 up the middle, even on the corners. Obviously Desmond's holding on Ahmed, or excuse me, Souza. So John, the first 4 hitters, it was strike 1. The last 4 hitters, it's been ball 1. Dropped the breaking ball in, 1-1. When managers, especially a guy as savvy with pitchers as Buddy Black, when they're evaluating the body of work inside a game, there's a difference between 100 pitches that are pretty carefree and 100 pitches where guys out of the stretch quite a bit and they're stressful. Now obviously the first inning was outstanding. This inning, some good pitches early, bad breaks, but now these are high stress pitches, each one of them. Well, that's the pitch he needed. He went the other way, 2-1. Nick Ahmed with 17 RBIs now against the Rockies this year. Runner going, and the throw through on the bag. You get him? Nope. Souza swipes second base. Rockies are going to take a look. See if they'll have a case. Nope.
Let's see if he pops off. So one aspect of this rule I've never appreciated, the spirit of the rule, being able to look at a base runner if he came off for 1/10 of a second.
That's all. See on the bounce. This will be able to tell you he's safe there, and just watch. I don't know if you could definitively say that the other foot didn't touch the bag at the same time as when that other foot came off the base. So the Rockies will not challenge. And now you got to hunt a strikeout here with Avila. No longer a double play option. Where's that? Just a little bit low, evidently. 3-2.
John hasn't had big misses on the strike zone tonight. Maybe a handful of pitches. He's been right around, clustered in the bottom of the zone.
I thought the Rockies may pull the infield in. They've elected not to. Pitcher Corbin's on deck. A run in, second and third, 1 out. 3-2 on the catcher Avila. Avila. That's 2 walks in the inning. And Corbin will come up. But not before Steve Foster goes to the mound. And this has been, you know, a thing with John, keeping his confidence at a super high level even within a game. He came out and he got after the Diamondbacks in the first inning. He got after Paul Goldschmidt to begin this inning. And now he's been a much more tentative pitcher when a couple of bad things happen.
Yeah, there's no question. Goldschmidt hit a ball 63 miles an hour off the end of the bat, and you get a double for it. Who cares? You have a play that Trevor made the right decision and come to third. His body was taking him there. Nolan just wasn't able to complete the play. That happens.
But it's changed how he's pitched pretty clearly. Corbin at 204. He's driven in 5. And that's down low to Corbin. Just think of the contrast. Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best hitters in the game. I mean, he went right after him. Mid-90s fastballs and then a tremendous slider. But now he's being a little bit too cautious. Rocky should turn this one. There's 1 and there's 2. Well, all in all, John did really well because bases loaded, nobody out. You only give up 1, as we discussed. You've done a good job.
Of the second inning, Drew Butera and John Gray going over scouting reports. For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Keep the distance. Dodgers won today. They're a game back in the NL West, and we know last night with the Diamondbacks win, they crawled from 3.5 to 2.5 games back. These are not must-wins, but these should be won tonight. Last night, Matt Holliday against Zach Greinke, pinch hit at bat, came within inches of tying up the game 4-4. Hitting high off the barrier. Talking to Holliday today, he said he thought he got it. He hit it, thought he had it.
Did you tell him to get in the weight room?
Yeah, I told him he should do more curls. And then he threw me away.
He hit one up on the concourse. He does it every day in batting practice. That's what I said to him yesterday. He hit one up on the concourse and it bounced and it stayed in the stadium. And I told him, hit the weight room, man. You get it out of there.
You get it out of the stadium.
So again, John Gray, stressful pitches, a lot of them. Nibbled a little bit.
Got out of it.
But he got out of it, only giving up 1. And that, honestly, is about as good as you can typically do. Bases loaded and nobody out. So Holliday in the second will be followed by Ian Desmond and David Dahl. Matt hasn't seen Corbin all that much. 6 at bats, 0 for 6, so he's looking forward to that first knock against Corbin. Rockies had a 2-out double from Nolan in the first inning. Trevor would ground out to third to end that mild threat, and this is fouled off. So last night, Spilligus, the Rockies had 9 hits, 7 doubles. How about that?
It's amazing.
Most unusual.
It is unusual.
Matt drives it, stay fair, deep left field. Foul ball.
The worst feeling ever as a hitter. Home run distance, foul ball. It was staying fair and it just hooked late. Now it's just a long strike. And you have to battle 2 strikes against Patrick Corbin, who comes into today's game with 224 strikeouts now.
You know, we talk about a show-me fastball up, followed by a breaking ball. That was a show-me fastball down. There's no intent to throw that anywhere near the strike zone. That's the pitch he wanted to induce a swing and miss on. 2-2.
What makes the slider so effective for Patrick Corbin is that he really tucks and hides when he starts his windup. Closes his shoulder off. It's very difficult for a right-hander to pick it up.
Bounce foul.
So there's deception. There's a bit of an angle that Corbin creates with a little bit of a crossfire.
Two on Holiday, and that went. Second strikeout for Corbin, and that'll bring up Desmond. Folks, when the Rockies score 7 runs or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Moss and Taco Bell. Ian's got a hit in 8 of his last 9 ball games. Hit 294 in the month of September. Ryan McMahon played first yesterday. Desi pinch hit and struck out in the 9th inning last night. The Rockies down by 3 in the 9th. Got a leadoff double by Cargo. The great bunt by McMahon for a hit. What a heady play that was. I asked him today, I said, I didn't know you had that in your game. He goes, I'm a baseball player. Loved it.
Relax. Yeah, no, that's great. Oh, when guys say stuff like that.
Yeah. This ball smoked to left.
That's
and
right.
it goes over the head of Peralta. And Desi into second with a 1-out double. We're watching back here, Spilly, and you played a really good outfield here for a long time. And I'm like, man, he's too shallow on that.
I thought off the bat, I'm curious why he was coming in. Off the bat, you read it, and it looks like a low line drive. He just didn't realize how hard Ian Desmond hit that pitch. The reaction of Peralta is priceless. As soon as he starts getting closer, it's just nope.
That's a sick feeling, I'm sure.
Doesn't feel good.
So now David Dahl. David's really been swinging it well. He's seen Corbin only 1 time. Yeah, he misjudged that because he came off the bat at 112 miles an hour. That was a Cargo special. Drops a breaking ball on his lap, 0-1. David a grand slam on Monday. Last night he threw out an RBI double, had another base hit. He's been locked in pretty well. 4 for 9 in the series. He's had some hard hit outs as well. But based on that swing, Corbin's probably thinking, I'm going to go slider here.
He can throw whatever he wants. He has Dahl completely off. He doesn't know if he's going to. Dahl's probably assuming slider too.
One and two.
Mention how difficult it is to hit Patrick Corbin, especially of late. Last 3 starts, it's 18 innings pitched, only 11 hits.
Go back his last half dozen starts, the league hitting just 188 against him. Doesn't walk guys either.
It's been really difficult. It's one where you just have to play some sort of small ball, keep it close. You can't expect to drive Patrick out of the ball yard.
He'd love to get third. If he reads a dirt ball, he may try to move up, but you got an open side. It's tough. Got him on a slider in the dirt. 2 gone. Drew Butera coming up. Last start for Drew, he threw out a couple of big hits, a couple of clutch hits, one to drive in a run with 2 outs.
There's the dot from Corbin's high spin rate slider on the Subaru Supermo. Just like we've seen with so many more pitchers just as last year, where they're starting their secondary pitches. Starting at about belt high, if not lower, thigh high for guys with good sliders. And with the velocity that they see paired with a good 4-seam fastball, it has grown increasingly difficult to pick up spin.
First pitch fastball is a strike on Butera. Drew started against Clayton Kershaw on the Dodgers. It's 2 for 2 against Kershaw, including a big run scoring single with 2 outs in a similar situation. He went. In fact, it was the 2nd inning. Rockies had fallen behind 2-0. That was when Holiday led that inning off with a homer against Kershaw. Desmond doubled. He's out there right now, and then big hit by Butera. And this is on the ground to Descalso. So the Rockies will leave a runner at second again. We go to the 3rd. 1-0 Arizona. Top of the order coming for the Diamondbacks.
word. That man right there, Trevor Story, wrote his name in the history books last night, becoming just the second Major League Baseball shortstop ever to have at least 30 homers, 20 stolen bases, and drive in 100 runs. The other guy had a special message for Trevor, and that is our T-Mobile Built for Baseball.
Hey Trevor, Alex Rodriguez here, man. Just want to say congratulations. Great job last night. Welcome to the 30, 20, and 100 club. I've enjoyed watching you play. Keep up the great work. See you, man.
I love the fact that he introduced himself. Hey, Alex Rodriguez here, as if we didn't know who it was, but it was a super special moment for Trevor. We watched him watch the video, and he had a huge smile on his face and said, that's pretty cool. He was one of my guys growing up. True.
Who is that again?
Some random, I think he was really good at baseball. Some random player, though.
And he played shortstop and then moved, right?
To third, yeah. He played for several teams.
Did he get paid well? That's cool stuff. Cool stuff for Trevor. 1-0 on Pollock. That's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pollock hit a ground ball to Nolan his first time up. It was a terrific start for John. He had a ground out by Pollock. Escobar smoked the ball that Desi climbed the ladder and made a catch, and then a weak ground out by Peralta in the first. 2-1. Here comes the old cliche. You want a quick and efficient inning after having to throw a lot of bullets in that second inning. That's a strike.
What do you think Trevor and A-Rod get in this club that they are in? There's only 2 of them.
What do they get for being in it? People like us to brag on them.
It's a good club.
Fastball cut a little bit at 95. Well, there's a club that Nolan can send a little video message to A-Rod and say, hey, I'm in a club that you'll never be in. Not to rub it in your face, because I don't think you're playing baseball anymore. Now you're just talking about baseball. But Trevor's the only guy with 40 doubles, 30+ homers, 25+ steals in a season who played short. And Pollock got hit with that. And you know what, for me, we were talking about the command issues for John, which is normally his outstanding command, especially for a power pitcher. The 5 walks last time, 2 walks last inning. And this might as well be a walk, because you know you're 2-2, and that's a big miss by a pitcher.
Well, luckily AJ Pollock is wearing a shield on his wrist. You're hoping that he's protected, because this guy's gone through so many injuries in the last couple of years, and what he means to that organization, what he means to baseball. You want your best players playing on the field. AJ Pollock is one of the Diamondbacks' best. But underneath that wrist guard, there's a moldable armor that you can put in there to help alleviate that force when a pitch hits you in that spot.
So here's Escobar. Pollock 11 out of 13 swiping bases. That's why he has the attention of Gray. Curveball for a strike. John needs that double play ball again. Pitch counts at 48 after having to throw a number of pitches in the second. This ball's well hit to center field. Blackman going back. He's going to have to quit on it. It's gone. Two-run home run, Eduardo Escobar. And now it's 3-0 Arizona. 21st home run for Escobar, his 6th in a Diamondback uniform. Well, he ripped the first ball that Desmond made a great catch on. This thing was hit a long way.
That four-seam fastball stays middle part of the plate. Escobar has proven to be a very good baseball player.
Good two-way player.
Switch hit, very versatile for the Diamondbacks. Well, this is what you didn't want to see for the Diamondbacks. They came in here, their confidence down a bit.
And then the Rockies beat them up 13-2 in the first ball game. And then yesterday's game truly could have gone either way. Greinke settled in after giving up 2 in the first. Senzatella, I thought, threw the ball well. But the swing plays went in favor of the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks played better, if you fully evaluate it, than the Rockies did last night. And now they have the early jump with their ace on the mound. Up 3-0. John's got to put his foot down here. 2-2. He not only has to put his foot down. I know it's September and you have a lot of options in the pen, but you want to get competitive length out of all your starters. That's a strikeout for Gray, and that, believe it or not, is his first strikeout. Comes 12 hitters into the ball game as Peralta's gone. That'll bring up Goldschmidt with 1 out.
Take a look at Eduardo Escobar's home run. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. 103 miles an hour off the bat with a launch angle of about 30 degrees. 447 feet right into that Diamondbacks bullpen. Well, it seems to me that when John Gray gets in the stretch, it's where his command is not quite as good.
It was 0-2 on Goldschmidt his first time up. He made a great pitch, a slider away, and Goldie off the very end of the bat just squeaked one. I think you said it was what, 61 miles an hour or something, 63 miles an hour, right up the first base line. That was a double, and then Descalso walked. Souza hit the ball in the hole. Trevor had only 1 play, and that was to third. Of course, Nolan was retreating, trying to catch the ball and find the bag at the same time. Didn't work out. So he had the bases loaded, nobody out. Ahmed had a sac fly. Avila walked. Unfortunately, John got Corbin to hit into a 4-6-3, so only 1 run given up. But now 2 in the inning on the home run. And after being ahead of Goldschmidt 0-2, he's now fallen behind 3-2. A home run by Escobar, his 21st. That matches his career high that he set last year.
Pointing out the walks for John Gray. We mentioned he looks better from the windup than he does from the stretch, and the numbers play it out too. With nobody on, 384 at bats, only 19 walks. With runners on, 231 at bats, a lot less, 26 walks. Still not a lot of walks, but there's a difference.
Sharply hit into right field past a diving Ian Desmond. Goldschmidt is 2 for 2. That'll bring up Descalso.
And twice Goldschmidt down 2 strikes, finding a way to get a hit.
Strike on Daniel. The win last night for the Diamondbacks, just their 3rd win in their last 11 games. I mean, there's some columnists down in Arizona that were already writing the obituary for the 2018 Diamondbacks.
Can't do that.
Fastball's up.
It's always a bad idea for anybody to give a team that board material where they look at it and they go, okay, we're left out, huh?
I actually think writers who cover baseball, beat writers especially, have a tough job because you're writing, 100 some odd stories a year if you split the beat, if you're the lead guy. And there's so many wins and losses and the roller coaster ride that is a Major League Baseball season. That was a swing. That you want to attach greater importance to certain events in June or July than are actually what's going to transpire now.
Yeah.
I mean, their meaning in the grand scheme of things sometimes is not as large as you would think.
They might feel extremely large at the time, but they're really not.
2-2. Billy, you've been there as a player where you had gut-wrenching losses, and there's no better example, and you've brought this up before, I've brought this up before, that road trip you all had in 07 where Tulo kept hitting 9th inning home runs only to get walked off in the bottom of the 9th, unfortunately, where Brian Fuentes struggled and lost his closer job. I think he went 1-9 on that trip, and you think it's done, it's over, move on to the next season, right? We all know differently now. 3-2. John's been getting ahead, but he can't get the strikeout pitch, which is something that was a staple for John even when he was struggling in the first half of the year when he was kind of up and down. Just one strikeout tonight.
And he's had several of the hitters on the ropes. He's had opportunities to punch him out.
Goldschmidt takes off. This is popped into the 3rd deck. I appreciate right there that nobody could see this, that you got out of your chair, put your spikes back on, and you were ready to make a play.
Well, if anything, I know from watching the defenders in the background, 67 pitches through 3 innings. It's a slow pace right now. John needs to speed it up a little bit just to get these guys engaged.
Runner going again, and once again it's fouled off. This time Spilly stayed in his seat. Good read.
Yeah, it was a good read.
No false break. It's a good friend of mine, Hal Seiler. I didn't know we were on camera. There you go. Hal's a front runner. Whenever the Rockies start winning a lot of ball games, out he comes. Kidding. Hal's with the Rockies through and through. 3-2 again. And this is drifting toward the seats. Nolan trying to go San Francisco again. Couldn't reach it.
There's Nolan on the Subaru Super mode, giving his best ever. Oh, it was almost off. I think if it doesn't hit that guy with the Michael Jordan Barons jersey, he catches this.
You know what? You're right.
It's a good jersey.
Would have been a better catch. Next pitch, the 70th, and there's one out in the 3rd. So unless something changes dramatically, you're probably going to get, more of an abbreviated start for Gray.
Chris Russin's starting to warm up. It's light catch right now. He's not in too big of a hurry. It's just the pace at which it's taking John right now to throw the pitch.
Runner going again, swung on and missed. Throw to second on the bag. Great throw by Butera. Strike him out, throw him out, and that'll get the Rockies off the field. Escobar, after the Pollock beaning, not intentional of course, hit a 2-run home run, and now Arizona's up 3-0 in the third. They challenged the call, and evidently his foot, we haven't seen the replay yet, but his foot hit the bag prior to the tag being placed down. So there's 2 outs, and Gray's now facing Souza after the strikeout to Descalso.
Gives John a little bit of a breather. 30th pitch of the inning coming up.
And he's got to win this battle. They're already down 3-0. Breaking ball. Did he go? Nope. 2-0. Here's the replay, and you see the foot hit the bag right before the tag by Story. Buckner's call was overturned. Three and 0.
Subaru super mode. Once you see it in slow motion, it's not as close as it looked to the naked eye.
Good call by Butera. You can't throw a cookie fastball 3-0 to a power hitter when his club's already up 3-0.
And a guy that hasn't hit well this year. He's looking, he earned a 3-0 count, and he wants to take a good swing on a cookie.
Backup slider, 3-2. Got him on a slider. Goldschmidt's left at second. 2-run home run Escobar. 3-0 Arizona going to the bottom of the third. Comments, your questions. Use Twitter, include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Here we go in the bottom of the third inning. Rockies down 3-0. John Gray will lead it off at the top of the order. Corbin with a first pitch strike. Corbin so far has allowed 2 doubles, a 2-out double to Nolan in the first and a 1-out double in the second to Desmond. Inside on Gray, 1-1. Rockies are 35-30 inside the NL West. And the 2 teams they're competing with to go to the postseason have very similar records inside the West. Spilly, was it 07 or 09? You guys were 8 over inside the division, which was the best mark the Rockies have ever put together. 2-2. Corbin 6-1 this year, 233 against the West. This ball's hit well to center field, really well. Pollock is going to have to play it off the wall, and Gray has a leadoff double. Oh man, he's starting to go to third. Stop, John, stop. Thank you. That conjured up an image from last year when he hit that 467-foot home run. Pollock was running like Willie Mays against Vic Wertz in the World Series against the Indians
He's not
more than half a
any,
century ago.
He was not going to make any over-the-shoulder catch in Subaru Super Mode. John Gray squares this up. AJ playing extremely shallow. Looks like it hits off the wall. That is a good decision by John not to try to make that turn at second base for third, especially after you slow down. Would have been thrown out by a couple steps.
So now Charlie's up there. The unexpected, a double from Gray against Corbin.
Rockies have to find a way to get a run this inning.
Well, they got the right guy at the plate. Chuck's hitting .405 in the month of September. Struck out on a 3-2 pitch his first time. And he looked like he offered there. He did. 0-2.
The frustrating thing as a hitter is when you have an at-bat where you take a fastball that you can handle and then swing at a slider that's nowhere near the strike zone.
Now, Charlie rarely swings at the first pitch. We've had that discussion many times this year. He's a great player. He's a great hitter. And he's a great hitter left on left. But you don't want to let this guy get to a slider count, to your point. One out. So DJ will come up. Grounded to second his first time up. We talked about the great ones being able to get strikeouts when they're trafficked, especially strikeouts against a high quality hitter. And Corbin just got, that's a huge strikeout because Charlie at the very least a productive out. He moves Gray to third. You kind of chip away. Pollock shaded toward right center naturally, but not dramatically so. Not as we see the Padres do. Big gap in left center. And this is chopped to second. Descalso didn't get enough on it. Infield hit. And it's first and third. That play there gives you an indication how special DJ LeMahieu is defensively.
Yeah, you expect to see DJ make this play fairly routinely. And DJ, after watching Charlie take a first pitch fastball, he wastes no time, even though he doesn't hit this well. Puts the ball in play and gives himself a chance. Now this is the at-bat you want.
Nolan took a hanging breaking ball and hit it off the bottom of the right field wall for a 2-out double in the first. That would work well right here. Three doubles in his last 5 at bats for Arenado. This is a get back in the ball game moment here in the third. Two good pitches down and in.
And as a fan watching this, I'm sure people are wondering, well, can't he just lay off that slider down and in? Well, you have to consider how Patrick Corbin uses his fastball. Notice why the Diamondbacks use their shift the way they do with those stats for Nolan, but it's because Corbin's fastball that he throws it inside to righties.
Inside off the plate, though it looks like a strike initially. That down the line, fair ball. Gray scores. LeMahieu to third will get a stop sign. Yet another double. The Rockies have 14 hits. The last game and a third against Arizona, and 11 of them are doubles. John Gray had a double, and he's getting high fives in the dugout. It's 3-1.
This is not a horrible pitch. Notice Alex Avila in the background. He's going to his knee. Nolan's just excellent at handling the inside portion of the plate. John Gray getting high fives. Just like that, the Rockies are back in this. So Trevor Story, Diamondbacks playing their infield defense back. A ground ball for an out gets a run and makes this a 3-2 ball game. Base hit ties it.
Base hit will tie the game. 6 out of 18 against Corbin with a home run for Trevor. Hit a ground ball to third his first time up. And he gets ahead 1-0. This is where you're so excited to hit, you got to slow the game down, right?
That's what makes Patrick Corbin so difficult, is that when you're getting fastballs inside as a righty, it speeds you up. So as you're trying to settle yourself down, your mind is considering this pitch.
This ball lined to left, but it's hooking foul. Got him out front on the slider. It's a ball and a strike on Story. 40 doubles for Trevor. Of the night, leading the National League in that department with Nick Markakis and Matt Carpenter. DJ at third, Nolan at second. 1-2.
Corbin hadn't given up more than 4 hits in the game in his last 3 starts, and he's already given up 5 hits through 2/3 of an inning. 2 1/3 of an inning.
This is where Trevor has been so good this year, in that he's not going 100%. He's going about 85%. So you're not seeing the wild swings and misses that you saw last year. Got enough to keep the AB going.
It's about it's imperative to put the ball in play.
run in, 2 in scoring position, 1 out. Holiday's on deck. 1 and 2 on Story. And now Trevor will back out as Corbin has slowed the pace down. Trevor in September, 325 average and leading the National League with those 6 home runs. And he got it. So it'll be left to Holiday. He put a scare in Corbin his first time up. He hit a ball down the left field line, home run distance, and at the last instant it turned foul. He eventually would strike out on a slider in the dirt. Strikeout of Story, the 5th strikeout for Corbin. You know, Trevor's driven in 100, which is the most in the National League, with a couple of others. And I know as hard as he works and as focused as he is, one of the things he'll be looking at to improve upon is what he hit with runners in scoring position next year, because his average is pretty average, if you will, runners in scoring position this year. And think about that, he's still driven in 100. And Matt went. Matt wanted Phil Cuzzy to check with Chris Conroy instead of making the call himself on a check swing.
That's every hitter. Every hitter would like the home plate umpire, and even though it looks like he went, to at least give that first base umpire a chance. Hitters always feel that they have the better view. An umpire has enough things on his plate to call balls and strike.
Oh and 1 on Holiday. Story's average, by the way, with runners in scoring position, 257. And this gets by. Here comes DJ. And a gift. It's 3-2. Off the glove of Avila to the backstop.
That's fortunate. Corbin had a chance to get out of this inning.
It's going to go as a wild pitch, but that's got to be handled by Avila.
It does, and there's a little late cut to it. But Avila going for the backhand on a pretty pitch with late movement that he should have kept in front of himself, especially with 2 outs and a runner at third. You don't want to give up anything free to the Rockies.
That hits it in the air to center field. Pollock has room and will make the catch, and that turns into a huge wild pitch or pass ball. And the Rockies get that second run. They're down just a run now, go to the 4th.
right field. I don't even know where I am anymore because I'm in the manual scoreboard. You can see inside. I'm doing what I do best, and that is scoreboard watching. Now, if you're wondering if the players do it too, the answer is yes, they do.
I was watching the Dodger game this morning when I woke up. You know, I'm always checking out what's going on. I think I can't help it. You know, one, I like baseball and I like watching it too. You know, I know we're in it with them and stuff like that.
Especially when we're not winning, I go like this. You know, just make sure that, you know, the other team's not doing better. So yesterday was one of those nights that you always pick because, you know, you're not winning.
It's pretty cool out here. I mean, these women work hard back here. One of them's name's Liz, and Spilly, she has this special message for you. She was saying that you were out here last year. It was kind of part of the rally, and she says you got to come back, but just wear different clothes, because she said the clothes you wore last time, a little bit too hot for being back here.
That's right. Spilly, what's your schedule last week of the season when the Phillies and Nats are in?
Oh, whether I'm
can we put
all
you
of his
out
hits
there?
Back here. Yeah, I like that idea.
I could go back there.
You were good back there.
I was good back there.
You were outstanding at times. Hunter Pence, still not talking to you, but I mean, it worked nicely.
He was okay with it. He did put me in a headlock and
gave you noogies. 0-2. And that's inside on Ahmed. Hunter, want a slice of pizza?
No, you eat pizza with the fork.
Oh, that's what it was. That's right. Rattled him.
Got him.
Good pitch. Really good slider. See if John can take the momentum of his rally starting double and take it to the mound. As the Rockies got two. Back within a run. At the bottom of the order.
That's a good depth that you want from the slider. John Gray struck out the side in the third.
Ultimately he did. He struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters. Now Avila. I want to know on Avila. Rockies with 2 runs on 5 hits. The Diamondbacks 3 runs, just 3 hits against Gray. This is in the air to deep center field. Charlie's going to run out of room. Avila's hit it out. They get a run back. Avila probably feels real good about that since he must feel personally responsible for the 2nd run scored by the Rockies. For Avila, his 7th home run of the year, 4-2.
You want so bad for John to make it through this inning with Avila, especially with Patrick Corbin on deck. Get that chance to keep the momentum moving into the bottom of the 4th inning. But Avila, short stroke. It was a big prize last year at trade deadline. He just has not been able to get his offensive approach together this season, and that's a big home run for him. 7th on the season.
It's 23 home runs now allowed by Gray. One and one on Corbin. That's 7 home runs given up by John in his last 20 innings. Three and 1. Second time Chris has been up. That may have been ball 4, but fortunately Phil Cuzzy called it a strike. 3-2. Yeah, we can talk about offensive stats, defensive stats, bullpen numbers. The bottom line, this time of year, it'll come down to starting pitching. The Rockies have road starting pitching for 144 games, and they have to ride it for the next 3 weeks. They're going to have some good nights offensively. They're going to have some nights where the other pitcher's really good. You got to try to, win a ball game 3-2, that sort of thing. It's going to come down to the rotation. And we know how good Kyle Freeland's been. We know how good German Marquez has been. And now, John, who's had a good second half, he needs to step forward. I thought Sensatella did some nice things last night. Obviously, Tyler Anderson has to turn some things around. That's going to tell the story as to whether or not the Rockies can hang on and win this division. It's really that simple.
It really is, because if the Rockies win every series, they win the division. And if it doesn't match up properly for this team to have, of late it's been Kyle and German have been.
Well, their last 26 starts, the Rockies are 22-4. So when they go out there, the Rockies win. Tony Diaz on the left, German Marquez on the right. Here's the 1-1. It's fouled off and out of play again. Pollock in the 3rd inning. A 1-2 count, then a 2-2 count, then a fastball up and in, and hits him on the wrist. And of course, the next batter, Escobar, hits one almost 450 feet.
We legitimately look at the pitches tonight for John that hasn't executed. He's been hit hard with 2 pitches. That's it. Homer by Escobar, homer by Avila. Hit by pitch, off the end of the bat.
Just not as aggressive as he was. That's a good pitch there. So we'll see if he comes out for the 5th inning, because that's 93 pitches. Rockies trail 4-2. Home run by Avila.
Moment this season. Get Rockies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.tv Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
It's a swinging bunt from Desmond, and he's retired. 1 out. So Gray is due up 4th in the inning, and Chris Russin is firing down in the Rockies bullpen as if he's coming into the ball game.
I'm sure if there's a situation for the Rockies to try to drive some runs in, if it's David Dahl and Butera get on, it'll be the end of the evening for John Gray. It's back-to-back starts for him where he's lasted 4 innings.
And this is rolled toward the middle of the diamond, on through. David Dahl with a knock. Drew Butera will come up. Chris Iannetta. Or is that Murphy? That's Tom Murphy. Excuse me. Tom Murphy has gone to the on-deck circle. You know, the good thing for John is he started to find a swing and miss slider, and then he had 6 strikeouts in the last, really basically in the last couple of innings. But 4 runs in 4 innings, not what he was trying to do.
Had 4 hits. 2 of them hit hard. 2 were not. He ended up striking out the side the last 2 innings. So he had his 6 strikeouts. They all came in the 3rd and 4th.
This ball is hit well to right center field by Butera, but it's going to be run down out there by Souza. Hey, what, off the bat, I thought that thing was going to get to the wall. Butera gave it a ride, long out, 2 gone. Here comes Tom Murphy to pinch hit.
Murphy 2 for 12 as a pinch hitter with a home run.
And a base hit for Murph. Dahl will stop at second. And now 3rd at bat coming for Charlie Blackmon against Corbin. You get your leadoff man, best hitters in the National League, up 3 times in 4 innings.
How about this, Drew? 4 batters, 4 pitches, 4 swings.
Again, don't get to a slider count, right?
You can. I think somebody in that Rockies dugout said, hey, be aggressive. Let's go after him.
And that's where Charlie hopefully will change it up. As locked in as he is, Charlie typically, as we've discussed, does not often swing at the first pitch until later on in the game, if it shows up. Let's see if he gets a first pitch fastball if he fires at it. Well, he didn't get a first pitch fastball. He got a first pitch slider, and it's 1-0. Left on left since 1974. The best batting average in that time frame. Left on left, Ichiro 329, Tony Gwynn 325. Not a surprise either one of those. Rod Carew, no surprise, 317. Larry Walker 306. 5th on the list, Charlie Blackmon at 302. Here's the 1-0 to Chuck. And this is in kind of a difficult spot, and safe at first. Escobar, who's very good defensively, had to double clutch getting it out of his glove, an infield hit. And LeMahieu will come up with the bases loaded.
It's a slider away from Charlie off the end of the bat. Here's the double clutch. He just cannot find it in his glove initially. Just that half second is all Charlie needed to be safe at first.
Remember that 7th inning yesterday, DJ, who's so clutch. You see Charlie clearly beat the throw. Came up with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. And ultimately he would ground out to second. He's got another opportunity here. Rockies down 4-2, 4th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. That's a strike. DJ against left-handed pitching, batting .335, 7th best in the National League. Dahl, he had a base hit. Murphy a base hit off the bench, and Blackman a moment ago. Two strikes on DJ.
DJ has felt so comfortable against Patrick Corbin. There's his numbers. 378, 4 home runs, only 3 strikeouts. His 4 home runs against Patrick Corbin are the most all-time against any pitcher in baseball that he's faced.
Keep adding on to those great career numbers. One and two. Rockies have created traffic every inning against Corbin. There's been a couple infield hits, but Rockies have 8 now against Corbin. Spook told you the last few games he hasn't given up more than 4.
Well, 8 hits ties the season high for him, for Patrick, and that's happened twice to him. That's how good he's been. He's only given up 8 hits twice in the season.
And he gets him on a slider to end the threat. Rockies leave him loaded in the 4th. 4-2 going to the 5th. Chris Russell will be aboard. Brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Jack in the Box, try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls, only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. So here's the deal, 5th inning. The Rockies trailing the Diamondbacks 4-2. Game 3 of this 4-game set. Tomorrow's an afternoon fair. And a reminder that tomorrow's game is exclusively on Facebook. Major League Baseball did a deal last off-season with Facebook, so tomorrow that game exclusively on Facebook. The Rockies began the day a game and a half, or excuse me, 2.5 ahead of Arizona. They were a game and a half ahead of the Dodgers. Dodgers won earlier. First pitch from Russin to Escobar is in the air to Dahl. One pitch, one retired. That'll bring up Peralta. So Gray goes 4 innings, allows 4 runs. 2 home runs allowed. John would strike out 6, walk 2, and hit a batter. 4 hits allowed. Oh, and 1 on Peralta. Of course, Chris, a year ago in a variety of roles, so valuable. That's a good pitch. Nolan is on the grass. 2 outs.
The Phillies come to town September 24th through the 27th. Catch any of the games with the Coca-Cola Value Pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, parking, and more, all for only $59 or $79, depending on location.
Here's Goldschmidt. Double and a single tonight for Goldschmidt. Rockies celebrating their 25th anniversary. It's their 26th season on the field. Diamondbacks celebrating their 20-year anniversary season, 21st on the field. And they put together, like, you know, we've had a top 25 player countdown. Nolan was number 3 overall. That's fouled off 1 and 2. They put together a 20-year anniversary team. And not surprisingly, Paul Goldschmidt's on it and A.J. Pollock's on it. The 2 current Diamondbacks on the squad. Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling headline the pitchers. Brandon Webb. That's some good ones, man. You had to face them.
Brandon Webb was the guy that had probably the best stuff from a right-hander. I told you he had the best changeup I've ever seen.
It's funny, he was known for his sinker. And you're talking about his changeup. That tells you how good he was. 0-2. There's a changeup off the plate, 1 and 2. You know, I know it's been a tough year for Chris. Battled some injuries. Hasn't been as sharp when healthy as he was a year ago. This is a guy you bet on, though, because this is a tough sucker right here. Another changeup. That's the thing with guys like Goldschmidt. You get 2 strikes on him, it's hard to get that 3rd one.
Reminds me of Buster Posey's like that. Jose Altuve's like that. Mike Trout.
That's a great pitch. He tripled up on the changeup, and he got the outside corner there. Good inning for Russing. Quickly through 2, 3, and 4 in the Diamondbacks order. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. The Rockies trailing 4-2. Nolan will lead it off.
Highlight these two National League defenses. The Arizona Diamondbacks are right on top of the Colorado Rockies with a .989 fielding percentage. That's actually second best, third best in all of baseball. And the Rockies right behind them, .988. This includes first base, second base, third base, and shortstop, just infield.
Nolan 2 for 2, 2 doubles. He has 4 doubles in his last 6 at bats. Getting his mojo back. Another thing Chris Russin did, Spilly, with that quick inning is get Corbin, who had a stressful 4th inning, right back on the bump. See if they can put some more heat on him.
Well, for Patrick Corbin, he hasn't thrown more than 96 pitches in his last 4 starts, so he's getting closer and closer. At 60 pitches now. He started putting some stressful innings on him.
2-1.
And even though it's not 96 pitches, it's worth considering. I know Torey Lovello probably doesn't want to lean on his bullpen, but if the Rockies continue to add that pressure, it'll force him no other choice.
2-1. 2-2. It's such a beautiful time of year when you're in it. Rockies sitting in first place in the National League West, trying to capture their first ever division title. And it is going to be 6 bottles of Tums the next 2.5 weeks. It's just the way it's going to roll. I just love the time of year too, because everybody grinding. I mean, every at bat, you don't give away a pitch. You remember, Spilly.
This is the month you live for. This is what you work the entire offseason for. It's what you start preparing in spring training. It's to get yourself mentally prepared for a month where everything matters.
Good foul ball there. I think most people get this. Every once in a while, you know, there'll be cynics saying, "Oh, the professional athletes, it's all about the money." I mean, yeah, it's their profession, but make no mistake, nobody thinks about dollar signs. You think about winning championships when you have the opportunity to. This ball is well hit to center field, way back, and the lead gone. Nolan makes it a 1-run game. I'd say he's locked back in. He went down on a pitch that may have been below his knees and hit it out to dead center.
That pitch is a good pitch from Patrick Corbin, but not to Nolan when he's locked in. He took a pitch down and in and shot it over the center field wall. That's as good of a feeling as you could possibly have.
33rd jack for Nolan. Here's Story. Go ahead and match him, Trev. Story's got 32 homers.
That's only the 6th home run that Patrick Corbin has given up on a slider this season.
You want to hear something funny? Watch Nolan swing. And we just heard that this ball went 411 feet. There's only one problem with it. It went over the 415 sign. I think they need to recalculate.
Sometimes when it goes too high, it doesn't work.
This is kind of a swinging bunt, and the race to the bag was won by Corbin. Out number 1 in the 5th inning. We'll bring up Big Daddy. Holiday, strikeout and a fly ball to center.
Matt has taken 2 quality at bats against Patrick Corbin. I know he struck out in the 2nd inning, but he did have that long strike, almost hit a home run down the left field line.
side on Matt. That's line to right. That'll drop. So a one-out single for Holiday. That's 10 hits now.
There's a slider away from Matt Holiday. Holiday off the end of the bat. I don't think Holiday knew where the baseball was off the bat. Keep your head down, drive through it.
Boy, does he lengthen out the lineup, especially against lefties? Here's Desi. Crushed a double his first time up. And a ground ball to first. There's a strike. For Nolan, 2 doubles and a home run now. It's his first 3-hit game since August the 9th. We could officially say that slump is buried.
I think he has several more hits in him tonight.
I would not bet against that.
Desmond was 0 for 1 last night pitch hitting, but consider this, he had reached safely against the Diamondbacks virtually every single game. He's now reached safely in 14 out of 15 games.
Down in the dirt. Yeah, he swung it very well against the Diamondbacks. He swung it well against everybody in the National League West. That's why he's driven in more runs against the West than any other player in the league.
I like that tweet. She's so right. It is very difficult to enjoy a race when you're not contributing as well as you'd like to.
You just knew it was a matter of time. He works too hard and he's too talented. This ball is to short. And it'll turn into a double play. That'll end the inning, but the Rockies are run closer as Nolan hits one over the center field wall. We are through 5. 4-3 Arizona. High-speed challenge questions. Billy, pay attention. Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM to cast your vote. Which is the most difficult feat? 40 doubles, 30 home runs, 25 stolen bases, or 100 ribbies? Now, for me personally,
for you personally,
all the above. How about impossible? What do you got?
40 doubles is a cool stat, but I think it's achievable. I think a lot of other players can do that. 25 stolen bases, if the timing's right, achievable. Normal humans can do it. 100 RBIs is special, but it also counts on their teammates. 30 home runs from a shortstop. When you start getting into the 30s, that's a significant number in the baseball world.
2-0 on Daniel Descalso. Second inning of work for Chris Russin.
But if
how many humans can do all of those?
That's what I'm about to get to. And by the way, nobody can. So,
well, he's the only human that's ever done it as a shortstop.
As a shortstop, isn't that remarkable?
Larry Walker and Ellis Burks have done it. So 2 other Rockies.
Not as a shortstop. There is no club that A-Rod can join that has those type of stats in it.
Nope. Descalso, a walk and a strikeout. Line foul.
And this begs for another shutdown inning. If the Rockies can have it, they've built that momentum.
Four runs, 4 hits for Arizona. 3 runs, 10 hits for Colorado. Swung on and missed. First 4 hitters that Russin has faced kept him off balance. This has looked a lot like the sharp Chris Russin that we've seen so frequently in the past.
Well, all 9 of the strikeouts tonight on the evening between John Gray and Chris Russin have happened in the last 4 innings.
Steven Souza. He's 0 for 2. That's fouled off and out of play. Haven't got the totals yet. Nice Wednesday night crowd. The rock pile's about 2/3 full. Everywhere you go, people talking about the Rockies. Love it. Three and 1.
I just love it when the kids come down the stairs and they're starting to look for the box score. How'd they do last night? Who did what?
You're talking about your kids.
Talking about my kids.
Stacy's not let them stay up till all hours to watch the end of the game.
No, they have to wake up early.
What kind of parenting is that?
You're going to receive a text. But it's great walking through the halls, seeing the kids at school. Everybody has a Rockies jersey on. There was a giveaway a couple days ago. A lot of purple.
3-2, and Nolan's got it. Jam shot, 2 outs. Souza retired. Now will bring up the shortstop, Ahmed.
I like the aspect, Drew. Over the last couple days, the Rockies have been wearing the purple jerseys. I know a lot of people have noticed it and they liked it. I'll also give you a number for you. The Rockies are 26-17 on the season when they wear the purple jerseys.
We would tell you what Arizona is in these uniforms, but this is like one of 37 different uniforms they have. I've had a sac fly in the second and a strikeout. They actually do keep track of it. Arizona does. There's so many different combinations. It's fouled off. So they have listed, Spilly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, excuse me. They have 8 listed. White, teal, white, red, red, black, Los D-backs, throwback, gray, red, gray, teal. This is
their gray and red combo.
This is the gray red combo in which they're 17-10. And then they have other listed. And they've played 10 games in other. I mean, what are those jammies they go out and play in? They're just 2 and 8 in other. So they're not good in their jammies.
All I know is that looking at the record and their different jerseys, this gray and red combination's their most lethal. They're 17-10.
That's why they're wearing them tonight. And no one's going to get another chance. This is another terrific inning for Chris Russin. 2 sharp innings, 2 strikeouts. Russin doing his thing. The Rockies down just a run. TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. I had no idea the Queen was making an appearance here in Denver.
Very regal.
Yeah, Ryan McMahon. Isn't Ryan supposed to like curtsy or something there?
I'm not sure. But I dig the windmill warm-up.
Here's David Dahl. He singled his last at bat, swung on and missed. The Rockies have put heat on Corbin. He's not had a 1-2-3 inning. Rockies down 4-3 as they bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've accumulated 10 hits against Corbin. Two strikes on David. Gutierrez on deck. Then we'll get a pinch hitter for Russin. Harrison Musgrave, Scott Oberg throwing as you look at Zach Greinke. Good eye from Dahl. 2-2. What a job by Chris Russin. Bears repeating. Settled the game down.
So looking at pitch usage for Patrick Corbin, it's almost the last couple innings, the slider has spiked up even more. Out of the 76 pitches he's thrown, 78 pitches now, he's thrown 42 sliders.
That's a fastball, and it's off the plate, 3-2. So Dahl's got himself back in the count. But you don't sit there, especially left on left, and feel comfortable you're going to get a fastball. More likely, you'll probably get another slider. He got a slider and he's gone. That's a good pitch by Corbin. That is his 7th strikeout, and that'll bring up Gutierrez.
3-2 count. Dahl might have been looking for a fastball and it just froze him. Started it up.
Gutierrez 0 for 2, though. His last time up, he drove a ball to deep right center field on a line that Souza was able to track down. Pat Valleca in the on-deck circle. Rockies have not won a season series against Arizona since 2014. They're 6-8 so far this year. To win the season series, they have to win 4 out of 5. You have this game, you have one tomorrow afternoon, and then 3 next weekend. Let me correct that. 3 the following week in Arizona. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Two and 2.
Kyle Freeland versus Clay Buchholz tomorrow.
Buchholz is throwing the ball well, and we know how well Kyle Freeland's been throwing it all year. He's on the ground is short. Ahmed with a quick release. Ball was up the line, but Goldschmidt came off the bag, as good first baseman will do, and spun with the tag. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Valleca.
Typically, when you have a great infield fielding percentage, it's due in part to a great first baseman. Saw it with the Rockies for so many years, from Andres Galarraga to Todd Helton to even Justin Morneau, and this year Ian Desmond. Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best at first base, being able to take an errant throw, complete a play.
You know, it's September because this wouldn't have taken place in July. Teams are really wary of the mound visit limit. This is what was happening the last couple of years. Anytime you had a pinch hitter, the pitching coach would go out and review the scouting report on the pinch hitter. And you've seen a lot less of that this year, again, because of the mound visit limitation. But now, here in September, at critical games, we've seen it again. And you know, they had a lot to use anyhow. That was their first. Valleca's got long ball in his bat. Rockies go in order, first time tonight. So Corbin works a quick 6th inning. We'll go to the 7th. It's a 1-run affair. Time for the Kubota pitching performance. Chris Rusin, 2 perfect innings. A couple of strikeouts, just 25 pitches.
It's really good to see for Chris. The Rockies need him. get to this point of the season, having the ability to match up, have as many guys in your bullpen that could be considered plus side. And even in this case today, for the Rockies to be able to just keep the Diamondbacks from adding on after John Gray came out after 4 innings. And that's exactly what he did. He did his job. The Rockies are hoping Scott Oberg will do the same. He's pitching extremely well of late.
He's pitched great. Alex Avila leading off. 8-9-1. Avila walk and a home run. A home run by Avila against Gray is the difference right now in this game. Three on the right side. Here's the 1-0. Diamondbacks have won 5 out of 8 here in Denver this year. And the Dodgers already won today. This afternoon they beat Cincinnati 8-1. They ended up going 1-6 this season against the Reds. This ball's well hit center field. Charlie on the move will make the catch. Now Patrick Corbin with 1 gone. We keep talking about some of the things the Rockies have to turn around against Arizona. They haven't won the season series against them since 2014. They haven't played well in September against Arizona the last 3+ years. Just 5-16. Oh, 0-1 on Corbin. You said it earlier, you got to win series just like you endeavor to do all season long. They can win series over these last 2.5 weeks. They'll be where they want to be. And Corbin is gone. 10th straight retired by the Rockies.
Support your Rockies and paint the town purple with the latest fall weather gear, player merchandise, and special gifts with purchase at Rockies dugout stores.
So A.J. Pollock will come up leading off tonight. He's done this a bunch in his past, but not much this year. Just the 7th time this year he's been in that leadoff spot. Swung on and missed. Pollock 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 3rd, would score on the Escobar home run to center. All 3 home runs in this game, the Escobar home run, the Avila home run, and the Arenado home run to center field. Straight away pretty much. Nolan's got 2 doubles and a homer. Baseball is fun again. 1-1. One-two. He looked like he went. He did. Oberg a dominant 7th inning. Time to get the offense cranked up again. The Rockies will have the top of the order in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by a single marker.
Get planned and guarantee an opportunity to 2018 postseason tickets. For more information, go to Rockies.com/tickets. 7th inning stretch time. Rockies rally time, Drew.
Absolutely. Top of the order, Charlie Blackmon, 1 for 3, an infield hit against Corbin. 4-3 Arizona. Rockies looking to put together their 43rd come from behind victory of the season.
Curious to see how Torey Lovullo is going to play out this inning. Brad Ziegler, Hirano have proven themselves to be viable as plus side guys so far. We mentioned just how big of a struggle it's been for Archie Bradley and Brad Boxberger, both with ERAs well over 8 in the second half of the season.
You just are wondering if Lovullo will allow Corbin to face Nolan again, who's 2 doors down. Get foul, it will be. 2-1.
Ziegler's warming up in the Diamondbacks bullpen. And it's going to take some matching up.
That's a strike on the outer edge. 93 with the heater. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Charlie hits it right at Descalso, 1 out. What Lovullo does, coming out right now, he's going to make the move here. I thought was going to be dependent on the matchup with LeMahieu. DJ had an infield hit in the 3rd. 1 for 3, but you know, for a guy that has watched his bullpen be very shaky, Torey's fairly quick to remove Corbin with 1 out in the 7th.
I think it has everything to do with how much and the frequency Corbin used his slider tonight. That's a very difficult pitch to throw consistently over the course of.
So he's gone after 90 pitches, ahead 4-3. By a run, Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborghs, Taylor McGregor, Brad Ziegler making his 2nd appearance in this series. DJ 3 for 15 lifetime against Ziegler. Nolan, who's on deck, 5 for 13, including a home run. Down low, ball 1. Ziegler in the game last night threw an inning in a 3rd, did not give up a run, just gave up 1 hit. DJ to ground to second with the bases loaded last night, if you recall. DJ's ahead 2-0. And a base hit to right. And now the go-ahead run will come up in one. Nolan Arenado. 3 hits and 3 at-bats tonight. 2 doubles and a bomb.
First inning, opposite field, double. He pulled his hands in nicely on the 2-strike slider down and in. And then it just caught Patrick Corbin off guard. He couldn't believe it. Taking a very good slider, almost golfing it out to center field.
The string of righties coming up. Torey Luvello goes to his right-handed specialist. And this ball's ripped off. That's going to turn into a double play. Escobar is smiling because he goes, look what I found. Can't hit it any harder than that. We'll go to the 8th, still 4-3.
Rockies as they get to welcome their scouts into, I'm looking at the wrong camera, but welcome their scouts to Coors Field. And, you know, this is really special for Buddy. He gets the chance to talk to his players, or to the scouts, about what the makeup is of a Rocky at the professional level. But what I asked him is what stands out to him about these scouts in the Rockies organization.
I love that these, you know, they love the Rockies. You know, they're just so invested in this organization. That's probably what, you know, I feel so good about, is they're caring for this organization, and it's awesome to be able to see that from my chair, and it's really cool. I mean, that investment and that care and passion for this organization, I think, really stands out amongst 30 teams.
And he went on to just talk about how important scouts are to this organization. They are truly the backbone when it comes to player personnel, guys.
They're the lifeblood of an organization because of all the miles they put in. And when they get a guy that's drafted, and then if that guy ultimately ends up in the big leagues, I mean, they walk around with their chest out, as well they should. Because a lot of times, all the work they do, they may not get a guy drafted that, you know, in a particular year. And a bunch of the area scouts were in last week. The second half have come in this week. You got Damon Ionelli, national cross-checker. Mike Erickson's come in. Mike does a great job. He's been a Rocky for a long time. Another one of their national cross-checkers. Danny Montgomery was here last week. He's back in this week. I was talking to Mike Garlotti, who's in the Northeast. This is a little comebacker and dribbled for a moment, but Oberg stays with it, and he gets Peralta. To Taylor's point, Mike Garlotti's been a Rocky. He's a Rocky. He's been a Rocky since before the Rockies threw a first pitch on the field. Think about that. And these are guys nobody knows about unless you're inside the organization, but they are so invaluable.
We always try to point out and thank them, especially when you're in the clubhouse as a major league ball player. You think it's just the 25 guys or 40 man on the roster that bleed with you every single night. And we know, especially for myself, having the opportunity to step away from the field, get out of the locker room, walk through these halls, see the security guards that have been here forever, the personnel that have worked in the front office forever. And then you realize that it's not about just 25 guys or 40 guys. It's about those scouts. It's about the advanced scouts that gave you maybe some insight into Paul Goldschmidt's swing, where his weakness is, where he's been hot of late. You can't win by yourself.
No, absolutely not. And I'm glad you brought up the ushers, because, man, they bleed purple. I mean, they treat everybody so well here, but we see some of the same faces for years and years right outside our door. Maryland, been here forever.
Forever.
And they live and die with the outcome each night, just like all of you. 2-0 on Goldschmidt. One more note on, there's all kinds of scouts. There's the amateur scouts, and that's what Taylor was talking about, celebrating those guys this week and last week. But how about Chris Warren, who's been a Rocky forever, who's a player in the minor leagues, Joe Little, excuse me, and Joe and Chris, we never see, once spring training's over, we never see him. We kid him on the rare occasion you run into him, because they're always 2 steps ahead of the Rockies, watching the teams that the Rockies are going to play in a week or so in person, and filing report after report on individuals, on the pitching staffs, on how they play collectively.
One of my former teammates, Jordan Zarnicki, who is now a Rockies scout, I was amazed when he told me last year he drove well over 50,000 miles to go watch players play baseball games.
3-2 on Goldschmidt. Shot smothered. DJ out at first. What a play. DJ LeMahieu flashing gold yet again. 4 perfect innings now between Russin and Oberg. Rockies still down a run, going to the bottom of the 8th. Brad Ziegler ready to go. Trevor Story steps in. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Arizona. And Story bounces it foul. Trevor tonight is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Story against Ziegler's 2 for 7. In the bullpen, Archie Bradley and Andrew Chafin, the left-hander. Speaking of pens, the Rockies' pen has been outstanding, and then some tonight. 12 hitters faced, 12 retired. 2 clean innings, Chris Russin. 2 clean innings, Scott Oberg. Rockies have been retired in order just 1 time in this game. That was the 6th inning. The bottom of the order went down 1-2-3. Rockies have 11 hits. Arizona just 4. The difference in this game right now, the solo home run Alex Avila hit against John Gray in the 4th inning. Holiday on deck. Desmond after that.
You want to try to get a pitch up if you can against Ziegler.
Ziegler strikes out Story, got him to chase that wiffle ball slider. Holiday's 1 for 3. Who wants tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. .38-year-old Brad Ziegler against 38-year-old Matt Holliday. A throwback AB, if you will.
Ziegler's career a little different than Holliday's. Holliday joined the Rockies back in 2004. It was Ziegler joined Major League team back in 2008.
Came up with Oakland. This could be a tough play if it's fair, but it goes foul.
I remember facing Brad Ziegler in the minor leagues. It was remarkable. He used to throw overhand, 3/4 arm angle. Not good. Not a high velocity guy. To be honest, if you were to ask me which of these players on some of those teams in the minor leagues that I would think that would have the career and the length that Ziegler had over 10 years, I would never have guessed it. And that takes a lot of dedication from Brad Ziegler for what he's been able to accomplish. I mean that as a compliment. It's backhanded, but I mean it as a compliment.
Well, you know, one of your close friends who became a notable closer over a long period of time, Brian Fuentes, he was at a crossroads in his career. Over the top, he was going to get released. And he dropped down. Not only did he make the big leagues, he ended up having a heck of a career. 1-2. And Matt bounces this one foul. Escobar made the biggest defensive play tonight for Arizona. Last inning, runner at first in DJ and 1 out. Nolan hit a ball that came off the bat at 107 miles an hour. And somehow it found the glove of Escobar. And he turned it into a 5-4-3 double play. Once it was in the glove, I mean, he could have thrown it around the horn twice. It was hit so hard. He's been good all year defensively. Second best fielding percentage among third basemen to Anthony Rendon. 1-2 again. And hanging tough. You could throw a washcloth over all the pitches. There's the shot. And you remarked to me accurately when we went to break that if he hits it 3 feet either way, it's a double.
Yeah.
Matt, in his career, well over 300 in the month of September. Two.
Gotta love these at-bats and these matchups between these two. What will Ziegler throw? He hasn't caved in so far. Most likely it's a slider count for him. Better just trust his sinker. Throws it 72% of the time.
Ball 4. Tying run aboard with 1 out. See if Hampson comes out and runs for Matt here in the 8th. He's already on the dirt and he's walking toward Holiday. So Holiday reaches for the 2nd time in the game. And now with the right-hander, he doesn't throw all that hard. He throws a lot of balls potentially in the dirt. Hampson looked to go.
Well, and Ziegler's not quick to home plate. He'll vary his times, try to hold the ball as long as possible and pick over, but it is not a quick release because he has to change his arm angle to get down.
Strike on Desmond. Double and 3 at bats for Desmond. Hampson, one of the top base stealers in minor league baseball, not just in the Rockies organization the last couple of years. To third, Escobar, another good pickup, 2 outs. 2 outs, runner in scoring position for David Dahl, and I'm sure Andrew Chafin will be summoned now. Two outs, tying run at second, pitching change.
It's a shark. It's a shark fin.
So David Dahl against Andrew Chafin. Garrett Hampson, who can scoots at second. He represents the tying run, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Dahl's 1 for 3. Check his swing.
Chafin appeared on Monday for the Diamondbacks, walked 2 batters. Good slider. It's one of Torey Lovullo's more reliable relievers.
Two and oh. Two and oh on Dahl. Three and oh. Drew Butera for the moment's on deck. Chris Iannetta has a bat. There's Chris. Three-oh. It's in there. Remember, Chafin came in yesterday, faced 2 guys, walked to both. Count in the favor of David Dahl, 3-1. Trying to tie this thing up. Ball 4. Butera will walk back to the dugout, and Chris Iannetta gets a slap on the backside for Butera as he will now take this at bat. We'll see if Torey Lovullo will counter now.
He's looking at his matchups on his card. He's waiting for Chris Iannetta to get announced. I was almost curious to see what would have happened if Bud Black threw a lefty up there to pinch hit. Carlos Gonzalez to force Chafin to face another lefty. Just for fun.
Would have been an interesting move. 2 on, 2 outs, another timeout.
And the pitch hitter that is now going to face Archie Bradley. It's been a bit of a stretch for Archie Bradley of late. Consider the last 10 games, a 400 batting average against him. He's had some pretty dramatic finishes. Matt Kemp with the walk-off home run at Dodger Stadium about 2 weeks ago. Followed it up the next day, 2 pitches, 2 losses for the Diamondbacks. Archie has an ERA over 8 since the break. He still leads the National League in holds for the Diamondbacks, but it has been tough.
Cargo, last time we saw, late last night, laced a double to lead off the 9th inning off the wall in left center field. Inside, ball 1 on Carlos. Two on and 2 outs. And Cargo bounces it to second. And we'll go to the 9th. Rockies still trail by a run.
Corey Sullivan and Jeff Houston getting ready for the Toyota post-game show. We saw it on the line score there, 11 hits for the Rockies, and yet not a lot to show for it.
Yeah, just 3 for 11 with the runners in scoring position. They've left 8 on. They had a chance to really blow this game open a couple different times.
What a job the bullpen's done so far. 4 innings, 4 punch-outs, 0 hits. Hope they can keep it going so the Rocks can score in the 9th.
Good to see Nolan Arenado's bat come alive again tonight, but the Rockies got to get a victory, guys. We'll send it back to you for the 9th, and we'll see you right after for the Toyota post-game show.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Here are the changes. David Dahl goes from right to left. Cargo stays in the ball game. He is in right field. Tony Walters is behind the plate. Wade Davis will try to get the Rockies quickly to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies have had traffic galore tonight. In fact, they had 11 hits against Patrick Corbin. That big hit, that big blow has been elusive tonight. There are the numbers on Wade Davis. You like the matchup, Cargo and Bradley going into the AB. Cargo was 5 for 12 against Archie Bradley. He got ahead 1-0, and then he just topped the ground ball to second. The Rockies, you see Daniel Descalso here leading off. It's Descalso, Souza, and Ahmed. In the bottom of the 9th, the Rockies will have pinch hitter Blackman and LeMahieu. I'm just trying to see where they put Tony.
They put him.
That's a line shot right at Ian Desmond, 1 out.
Looking up on the scoreboard, it looks like they have Tony Walters leading off that 9th inning, followed by Charlie and then the DJ.
Yeah, I was going to say he has to be in. Well, no, he doesn't. Could also be in the 5 spot. We'll see how it plays out.
Now they just switched it up on the scoreboard again. They have Wade Davis as the pitcher spot.
Yeah, there's no, they wouldn't have, Buddy wouldn't do it that way.
That's what we figured.
He would like to see Parra lead off the inning,
McMahon.
or potentially a McMahon. Most likely a Gerardo Parra. 1 out. 0-1 on Souza Jr. Well, Hirano got his first career save yesterday in the United States. He's going to be asked to do it again tonight. Well, the bullpen's been outstanding. They've completely shut down Arizona. Bullpen has faced 13 hitters and retired all 13. Russin for 2, Oberg for 2, now Wade Davis with 1 out. Hits the zone there, it's 2-2. Strike 3. Souza's gone. 2 outs.
The Colorado Rockies Make an Impact program is a free elementary school assembly that entertains and shows students how to make an impact on their lives and communities. Visit Rockies.com/community for more information.
The last base runner for Arizona was when Alex Avila, with 1 out in the 4th inning, jogged around the bases after hitting a home run against John Gray. That made the score 4-2 at that point. Nolan got a run back with a home run. Strike 1 on Ahmed. The Rockies went in order in the 6th. And a 1 out hit in the 7th, and of course 2 left on in the 8th inning. Charlie's going to bat second next inning. The thing I like about, you always like when Charlie's up, period, right? But I like the fact that he saw Yoshi Hirano last night. Hit the ball hard against him. Line drive to fairly deep center field. So there's a recent vision of the release point, ball movement, etc. for Charlie. One, 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So Hirano last night was very efficient during that save. It only took him 13 pitches to get the 2 strikeouts.
Three and 2. He came in with a 3-run lead, but he did not start the inning. He came in with runners at 1st and 3rd after Cargo had doubled and Ryan McMahon had the bunt single against Jake Diekman. He struck out Desmond and Iannetta, and then got Charlie on that line drive to center. (3-2) on Ahmed, and a strikeout by Davis. 2 punch-outs and a 1-2-3 ninth. The pen has more than done their job. Rockies a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th.
to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Dish Network, better TV for all. Rockies trailing 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth on a Wednesday night in Denver. And the matchup tomorrow afternoon, Kyle Freeland will make his 30th start looking for win number 15. He'll be opposed by Clay Buchholz, who hasn't seen the Rockies in a long time. He's been terrific since he got healthy with Arizona. And that game will be exclusively on Facebook. That game tomorrow on Facebook, as they did a deal in the offseason with Major League Baseball. Gerardo Parra will lead off against Yoshi Hirano. Parra, Blackman, LeMahieu. After that, Nolan and Trevor Story. 1 to tie, 2 to shake hands and celebrate.
71st appearance for Hirano. That's third best in the National League. He's also tied with Archie Bradley with holds at 32.
And it's ripped, and it's off of the glove of Goldschmidt, and Parra will reach. Goldschmidt, who's a Gold Glove defender, couldn't come up with that hot shot.
Eventually, the Rockies are going to find some holes. They've been hitting the ball hard. This one almost knuckled on Goldschmidt. Well, in between hop on the Subaru Supermo, and it just eats him up. There's Goldschmidt telling him, yeah, you hit top spin volley.
It's a base hit. Now Blackman, as hot as anybody in the league the last week and a half. Crowd of more than 31,000 standing. Charlie lays down a bunt. Hirano nearly threw high to first. So the Rockies will have a couple of swipes at tying it up. I think Charlie, in a perfect world, was trying to get that bunt.
He's bunting for a hit.
Yeah, he was trying to get that away from the pitcher.
He bunted it too straight. He's going right towards Hirano. Otherwise, if this had any angle towards third base, that's a base hit. Hirano fielded it clean, made a nice strong throw. 2-3 feet to its left towards third base. Escobar would have had no play.
So here's DJ, 2 for 4 tonight. Parra at second, the tying run. DJ had a quality swing, and that's a pitch that he had the barrel out on.
And facing Hirano, it's just 2 pitches, fastball and the split finger. Split finger he'll use 45% of the time. It's not a lot of velocity, 93, that is max. But because he throws that split finger, that 93 acts closer to 97.
0-1. That's a big save by Avila, who had a pitch he let go by him. It was called a wild pitch, but Avila feels he should have blocked it earlier in the game. It allowed the Rockies to get run number 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tel Marte is in at second base for Descalso defensively. He was the hitting star last night for Arizona, drove in 4. 1-1. Ball hit well to right field, really